So, everyone, this is Ashley Barvick, and she is a Florida gal living the life with her two beagles, which is adorable and sounds adorable, and her high school sweetheart. And in her spare time, she loves to dance. She enjoys the sunshine that Florida offers and loves to curl up with a good book. So, Ashley, I'm so happy to have you here today as a Clear Code member.
I'm so stoked. I'm very excited to be here. And thank you for having me. This is big. So big for me.
My pleasure. So, tell me kind of about you, your acne journey prior to finding me. Take me through it all.
Depends on how much time you have. But gosh, so when I first kind of like had started this journey, I guess, I have had acne since I was 7 years old, since I was in fourth grade. And I remember vividly just, I started very small with hyperdermatitis around my nose. And then obviously as puberty hit, I had acne everywhere. I had it all over my chin, all over my cheeks, all over my forehead. Obviously had no education or knowledge around skincare and food. And, I was active, but I didn't have the best diet and going through those hormonal changes, all of those things. So my mom also struggled with really cystic acne growing up, like really bad. And, I basically tried everything. I've tried Accutane. I've tried, I literally spent thousands on skincare, thousands at dermatologist's office. I saw the same dermatologist since I started like my acne journey up until I moved down here to Florida. No education around any other alternatives other than putting me on some sort of pharmaceutical medication, and it would work for a little bit. And then I would, have the same issue again. So I never felt that I was being heard and two, really getting down to why something is causing this. Like there's got to be a way to heal this or get rid of this completely. And I came off of birth control in September of 21. So that was already like a big change for my body. And I honestly think I just came across your Instagram and started like talking you and following you and looking at all of the people and their success. And I was like, okay, I have to reach out. Like I've literally tried everything. I'm done taking medicine. I can't do this for the rest of my life. So nothing that I had tried, detoxes, alcohol cleanses, anything, nothing had worked. So you were my last resort.
That happens often. I'd say 90% of my clients, maybe like 80% of my clients, I'm their last resort. They're like, I literally was Googling hashtag hormonal acne natural remedies at 2 a.m. and I found you. And then I went down a rabbit hole and everything changed, right?
Yeah, totally. That's pretty much, I mean, Google and Google doesn't, there's so many things out there now. And I mean, even some of the stuff that I've looked at, there's no way, like, I'm not doing that.
What types of things? Like, I remember so the thing that I hated the most from my acne experience was tea tree oil. Yeah. I don't know why, but it makes me gag so much. And my mom would bring the people around you suffer the most with you, right? Because you freak out about your skin all the time. And I would have mental breakdowns in high school about my skin for sure. And my mom would come home with like random natural things, and she would always come home with some version of tea tree oil. And I remember I would like put it on my face and I'd be like and I just hated the smell. Do you remember any specific treatments that you were like, oh, this was the worst?
Honestly, if I can think of one, it was the Proactive toner. Like the first thing that came to mind was the that, and I think they also had a scrub, like an exfoliant. Those two, I think, like, if I can remember anything vividly, those two, like, I think my face actually was like burnt. Like I could feel my face like burning after using those products, and they never helped. Like I didn't, but those two, I think if I had to pick like something that I vividly remember, those
being like misery. Yeah. So when you found me and you kind of went down the rabbit hole and we decided to chat, were you nervous about kind of joining? And what was the thing that you were like, I got to do this. I have to sign up for the Clear Code?
So I think one, seeing the comparisons like before and after, I think it was really interesting to see people and like, honestly, like seeing people that had worse acne than what I was dealing with. It's like, okay, it kind of brought me back down because I mean, I was made fun of in high school, middle school.
For sure.
It was awful. I mean,
Yeah.
and I think that's why as an adult, acne affects me so heavily because it triggers all of those negative experiences that I had. So
Yeah.
I think seeing the comparisons and seeing people that have had like true results and you going on and talking about their experiences and this person's not, I'm like, there's no way that picture hasn't been edited. Like there's no way she's wearing makeup. Like,
oh yeah. Yeah.
And just
totally.
and then this Facebook group and seeing how positive everybody was, once I signed and started the program, it was just like, okay, cool. This is like a legitimate community. This is fabulous. And I think just like seeing those before and after results, understanding for me, like the natural way to heal it. It wasn't this like fancy pill you were putting me on or this like big, crazy, like skincare regimen or anything. It was literally just food and understanding what my body needed and just really understanding like my liver would have never been something that I would have thought of because I'm like, I don't really drink that much. It's the first thing I told you. I was like, I don't really drink that much alcohol. Like I like it, but I don't drink a lot. So my liver's probably fine, which just not the case. So the before and afters, and then just watching people continuously have those transformations. I was like I looked at Austin and I was like, I don't have a choice. I was like, this is the most natural like thing that I have found. She's a real person. It's not like I'm like chatting with someone online and
a
they
bot.
Like, like this is a real thing. So we talked about it and it was one of those things where I knew that this was something that I had to at least try because I had tried everything else.
Yeah. So we have a kind of an intake call, right, to see if the Clear Code is a good fit for everyone. And I'm really specific about whether or not someone will fit or not, because when I invite you all into that community of people, the private group for the clients in the Clear Code, I'm inviting you from my personal experiences with acne, like you guys, where I always tell the story about this one girl who I totally changed her name because it was 20 years ago, but I would go to her house in high school and she would like, let's say my face right now, it's clear. She would like go up to the mirror and be like, do you see this one thing? And I would be covered, right? And it would drive me so crazy. And people would talk about my face. Like I come to the experience of creating a community of having felt the exact type of like shame and embarrassment that you guys have. So when I created the community on Facebook, all I wanted it to be was like a warm blanket for everyone. Like I wanted everyone to feel like they could be vulnerable and open, and also they were massively supported by each other. So whenever clients comment on how great the community is, it's like the best thing I've ever heard, because I didn't have that growing up. You didn't have that growing up, right? So I had people around me with perfect skin talking about like their one small fake, right? And it's
worst too, or you're like hanging out with people that literally eat like burgers, they drink like 4 to 5 times a week, they have like the perfect body and absolutely like their skin is gorgeous,
glass.
And you're like, oh my gosh, for real? Like joking?
For real? Yeah.
And I've actually had some people from the Clear Code reach out and like on Instagram, they're like, hey, like I'm just getting started. Like, can you kind of like tell me a little bit more about your experience? I'm a little nervous to post in the group. And I'm like, oh my God, trust Jill, do whatever she says and like do it verbatim, like really just dive into this program. And everybody seems so excited. So it's even cool that people can reach out and contact other people in the group and just share that experience, because I have like, I will not get emotional, but like this was a big thing for me. And being able to tell people that like this, if you trust and like want to do this, it will it will work, but you have to follow the plan. You have to stay like consistent and just enjoy it, and be patient, because that was
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Well, because we're used to using like products and seeing a little shift, maybe sometimes when we use a new product right in a few days. But honestly, that is the greatest compliment you can give me, Ashley, to tell other people to trust me, because it's such a labor of love to like create something, number one. Number two, that actually changes people's lives. And number three, like to gain someone's trust. Like I hold trust. I mean, it's the most important thing that you can have with people, right? So that is the best thing that I could hear today. So that makes me so happy to hear. Thank you.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think this kind of links in. What would you say? I know you're kind of mentioning getting emotional before. What would you say is the biggest mindset shift that's come as a result of being on the Clear Code?
I think, and you and I have had this conversation before. I used to wake up every single morning and do a little like test on my face. Like, can I
where it
feel
hurt?
Yep. I'm like, where's the new one today? You know? So I think just like for me, not having to put makeup on for every single thing that I do. Like I used to put makeup on to go to the beach, and like,
same,
was
the worst.
It was
the
just,
worst.
I mean, absolutely awful. Or Austin's like, we're literally going to get gas and like going to the grocery store and coming home. I'm like, I cannot explain. Like I can't explain, but I can explain. I think just my confidence and, my husband has been fabulous throughout. I mean, we've been together since we were 15 years old. Like he has loved me in all my forms, but just, having, and like not having to wake up and look at myself in the mirror and just be so frustrated, or even in just like pain, just like pain, just like not, I mean, at one point it was so bad, it hurt to open my mouth to eat. And that was really a low point for me. So I think confidence for me and just feeling like myself and coming into my own and being proud of my skin, and also just like understanding that like skin and texture and discoloration and all this stuff, like it is normal, but this is something that I can work on. And it's not like, this is who I am. Like acne does not define me. It's not who I am. And I think just having clear skin, one, opens doors for me from like a confidence level, and just being happy with what I see in the mirror,
Yeah, that makes me so happy. What do you think has been the biggest thing that it's helped you the most with the Clear Code? Like if there was one thing, I know it's a hard question.
I think like goes back to confidence, just loving what I see in the mirror and being able to leave the house without makeup on, and just loving my skin and loving what I see in the mirror.
Yeah. What do you think the biggest action steps for you based on your skin, your triggers, all the things, which were, I know them, I think I'm 90% sure I know them, but what do you think the biggest action steps for you were that you took that impacted things the most?
I think patience, and then understanding what those triggers were, like my liver, my blood sugar management, and understanding how to manage that. So that way I'm not having these heavy breakouts around my period, or if I do have a glass of wine, like I know that there's other things that I need to be doing in order, which anybody should be doing anyways, if you're drinking alcohol, but just making sure that I'm managing it in the way that I've learned. So those have really helped me. And that was, I think, what was the turning point, was just understanding what those triggers were and then how to address those.
I love that. That is why, it's called the Clear Code. Like I've been doing this for 9 years, actually, which is like kind of wild, right?
Yeah.
And when I first did it, right, when I first launched my website and all the things, my approach was a little different. Like it was far more strict, and it was a little bit more like eat kale and have spinach. And over time, obviously, it's evolved, thankfully, to the Clear Code, which is like your lifestyle plan. And so when clients come in and they're like, oh, can I eat a banana, or can I have an Oreo? I tell them, yes, like eat a cookie. Life is not going to end. My goal for you is that you understand over time how to balance your blood sugar and keep it managed, how to heal your gut over time, and how to, you're not going to heal your gut overnight. And the best kind of measure of whether or not your gut is happy is, are you going to the bathroom normally once a day, right? Like there are these signs and indications over time that tell you things are good. And that's what I want you guys to leave with, because I want you to be on the beach somewhere in Italy, right? And I want you to be chilling, and I want you to be able to keep your skin clear without me. Like, I haven't done my job. If you need me to keep your skin clear, I will like present the principles and we'll work through it and you'll learn your triggers. And then like, ultimately I'm successful if you can do it without me. Cause then like, you know, it's the same, like teach a man, like give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, teach him how to fish, you feed him for life. And that's really been my goal with the clear code. So I love that you said that. It makes me so happy.
And you have the tools. Like, it's not like you're 8 weeks and you're done. Like you lose access to all of the tools. Like, have the meal plans, you have the group if you absolutely need it. You can restart the clear code if you find yourself literally back at square one. But if you're doing the things that you've taught us to do, and that it's a customizable plan. Like, this isn't like you do these 4 steps and you're gonna have clear skin. I think that was like a big differentiator for me, was that this is like a one-on-one, you know, like I come to you, we talk about things, you give me suggestions and things to tweak, and I make those tweaks and I come back to you. And then once we figure out like what works, then I just continue that. And like you said, at that point, like I can do these things without messaging you or coming to you like, oh, I'm breaking out again, because if I'm doing exactly. So that I think was also a really big like attraction for me, is that I have access to these tools and the meal plans and how to do these things for life. Like, and that was really appealing to be able to know that I have access to those things.
Yeah, that makes me so happy. So how is your skin feeling now? How are you feeling about things, about your skin in general?
So good. So good.
I love it.
I have a little bit of makeup on now, only because obviously like for this, I want
to.
Yeah.
You look beautiful. You look beautiful.
But it's just, I mean, even down to like, we had a wedding to go to and it was hot as anything. It was super humid, super hot. And normally if I was having heavy breakouts, I would be so stressed about sweating my makeup off or my makeup smudging or whatever. But just like I think just not having to worry about it. I love my skin now. And I know that I still either, you know, that I'm still working on some redness and some discoloration, and that comes with time. That's not going to happen overnight. But as far as like active breakouts, I don't know them. Like, I don't know who they are anymore.
Yeah.
And like for me to say that, it's like, whoa, oh my gosh. But I'm so happy with my skin, and I haven't been able to say that, like not on any medication or anything like that. I have not been able to say that since my journey started. So I'm so happy.
If you had a friend and they came to you and they were like, oh, I'm thinking about healing my acne naturally, I'm thinking about joining the clear code, but I'm nervous, what would you tell them? Like, what advice would you give to someone who's considering natural acne healing over kind of traditional methods?
So, I mean, the first thing that I usually tell, because I've had a couple people ask and I completely pointed them your way. And, you know, and these are people that have known like all of the cleanses I've done, all of the things that I've done. And like, I've done a lot of things to try to clear my acne. And I think, you know, the one piece of advice or the one suggestion that I can give is, one, have the call with you to even see if this is something that they would be interested in doing, or if this is something that's a good fit for them. And this is a process that I wasn't really sure what to expect going into it, but I knew that this was something that I had to try and invest in, because I had tried everything else. I had tried the other natural healing remedies, and I've gone to estheticians and dermatologists, and nobody could help me. Nobody could answer the question. And I think the more research that we do when it goes into our gut and everything else that like goes on, your body is a pretty crazy place. So
it's got a lot going on.
Have the with Jill, talk to her, learn, like follow her Instagram, and just really pay attention to what you want to get out of it. Do you want a quick fix? Do you want to just like heal your acne and then that's cool? Or do you want to maybe make some tweaks to your lifestyle and then potentially have clear skin for the rest of your life? Like what's, you know, like what's important to you?
Yeah. Oh, that makes me so happy, Ashley. I'm so happy that you have had this experience. I'm so honored to have you. And thank you so much for sharing all of that with me.
Yeah, of course. I could talk about you and this program till the cows come home. So I love it. And I'm so happy, and I can't thank you enough for everything that you've done. It sounds like so cliche, but you've legitimately changed my life, and this program has changed my life. So I'm very grateful for you.
Yay!